Hey guys, and welcome back to Learn to Love You. In today's video, we're going to be discussing what healing actually is, how to do it, and how to transform your life through it. Healing looks different for everyone, and there is no one right way to go about healing or to go on your own healing journey. And I know, especially with the rise of TikTok and social media, a lot of us think that healing is supposed to look a certain type of way. We think that we have to follow a certain lifestyle, or follow a guru. Or we think we have to fly all the way to Bali in order to heal. Or we think we have to be super harsh and strict with ourselves and treat our healing like a hustle and a grind rather than a flow. But in this video, I'm just going to bring to light my own perspective on healing, as well as healthy things that have helped me on my own healing journey that you can also implement. And I will also talk about how to love yourself more and show up for yourself more on your healing journey so you can heal more effectively and make positive change in your life. And all of these things are going to empower you to improve the relationship with yourself. And you know that's why we're here. So let's get into it. So what is healing and how do you actually do it? Before I answer that question, I think it's really important for us to go over some myths about healing so we can see what healing is not. Healing is not linear. Now, a lot of us have heard this phrase before, healing is not linear, blah, blah, blah. But what the heck does it actually mean? It means that healing does not follow the specific timeline of linear, predictable events. A lot of us might have heard different concepts like the 5 stages of grief or the 5 stages of a breakup, and we think that we have to follow each and every stage to a T, or else we're not healing properly. First, we think we have to feel sad, then we have to feel mad, then we have to feel angry, then depressed, and then happy. And if our timeline doesn't look like those phases, then we start to get down on ourselves. We start to feel frustrated and confused. I'm supposed to be sad right now, so why am I happy? But no one ever told you that your healing actually never had to look like that in the first place. What? Are you serious? Yes, I am serious. In fact, it doesn't have to look a certain type of way at all. These are just man-made concepts, and you know man-made concepts are never accurate. Healing is an individual process, and that means that everyone is going to process things differently because every single person is their own individual. And a few years back, I was going through this breakup, and at first, I was really sad about it. And then I felt happy about it about 5 months into it. And then 8 months after the entire breakup had happened, I felt angry. All of a sudden, I felt so much anger come up. And it was not this straight line at all. It went up, it went down. I felt angry at times that I thought I would never be angry at. But I realized it was never meant to be this straight line. It was never meant to be this straight journey. And it only made me frustrated trying to hold myself to this linear standard of healing when healing was never supposed to be linear in the first place. Healing is kind of like the stock market in a sense. It goes up and it goes down. As much as I wish it was just this straight line going up and up and up and more money was compounding every single day, that's just not the case. Some days it's up, some days it's down, but you have to hold out in order to see prosperity in it. And healing is just the same way. Some days you're going to have an amazing day. Other days you might be on the floor crying. And just because it might feel like a lot right now, or it might be a really hard day for you, I want you to understand that all of your healing has not gone anywhere. It didn't go out the window and you didn't destroy it. The hard days are a part of the overall process. And you have to understand, the real purpose of healing is to build our character. And how do you build character? By going up and up and up every single day in this perfect series of events? Absolutely not. You have to go up, you have to go down, and that's what builds your character. Realistically, healing was never meant to be this straight linear path, because the linear path does not grow anyone. The linear path is in fact too easy. And so in order for us to grow into who we're meant to be, we have to face adversity, and the ups and downs of the healing journey build that character. Also, healing is not an overnight process. After my last breakup, it took me about an entire year to really heal through and find peace with everything. And something that I realized is that healing does not operate off of man-made clock time. It actually operates off of individual divine time. This means that it might take one person 6 months to heal through one thing, but it might take another person several years to heal through something. And this is because each person experiences different things in different intensities. Basically, pain is not this one-size-fits-all ordeal. Every single person is going to experience that pain in a different way, and is going to process that in a different way. And a lot of us also carry this fear that if we don't quickly heal through something, or if it takes us an entire year to heal, then that makes us weak. But I want you to understand that the time that it takes you to heal through something says nothing about your strength at all. Instead, your strength is defined by your willingness to go through adversity and your decision to heal. So even if it takes you an entire year to heal through something, not saying that it's going to, but even if it does, it's so much better to actually take that year healing than to just shove it underneath the rug. Also, processing things just takes time in general. It's like growing a garden. It doesn't all sprout at once, but over time with proper care and maintenance, a garden begins to grow. And I also want to advise you that you actually shouldn't try to heal everything all at once, because that's way too much stress on your mind and your body. Instead, try and process things bit by bit, in increments even, because that's going to be far more effective than you spending hours and hours with your journal open, doing shadow work, and thinking about all the things that you need to heal from. You don't have to become obsessed with healing in order to heal. You're able to still live your life too. You're able to still have other interests and do things that you actually like to do while you're healing. Sometimes it's nice to just watch a funny movie or to forget about your problems for a while. Because I promise you, your problems are still going to be there. But you can put them down sometimes and go take a break. And that's way more effective than sitting there and processing it all at once. Healing is also not just a one-time event. Now here's what I mean by this. A lot of us think that, oh, once I heal through this one thing, then I can just get back to the way that my life was before. I can go back to doing the same habits and lifestyles and forget that any of this ever happened. I just have to quickly heal through this first. But once this is over, it's back to the way things always used to be. But when we do this, we end up treating healing as a means to an end, rather than using it for its true purpose, which is to help us to grow, up-level, and transform into a better version of ourselves. And in order to get the most out of our healing, we have to integrate our healing practices into our day-to-day life. We can't just treat our healing like a disposable one-time experience and not use what we have learned from that experience in our everyday. Because if there are no changes after everything that you went through and after the entire healing journey that you've been on, then you probably didn't use healing for what it's actually meant for. So healing is not just this one and done thing. It's an integration. It's a daily practice into your everyday life. And for the love of God, healing is not glamorous. Oh my goodness. The fact that people think that healing is glamorous is insane. And I know that with TikTok and social media and all these influencers that you might see online, you might think that healing is this absolutely glamorous journey full of rainbows and sunshine and wellness diets and all these clean, hip, fun things. But I want you to understand that they're only showing you the highlights of their healing journeys, not how deep it can actually get. Nobody posts videos of the crash outs and the breakdowns and staying up all night having existential crises. Nobody posts the very low moments of their healing journeys because those aren't cute enough to go on TikTok. And we think that if our healing journeys don't look all glamorous and cutesy, then that means that we're doing something wrong. But I want you to understand that they're literally just showing you the highlights of their healing journey. The highlights. But healing is not just a series of a bunch of highlights. It can get really raw and really low and really deep, but they never show you that. And there have literally been moments where I am crying on the floor, where I'm so sad to the point where I can't even get up, to the point where I'm crying out to God. But I'm never recording those things. Those things are never going on TikTok. And so you would never really know what other people are going through in their own healing journeys. And so you don't really truly know how other people are processing things or how they're going through their own healing journeys. So you can't compare your own healing journey to the highlights of other people's. And healing doesn't have to be utterly miserable, but it's not going to be glamorous either. And really it's not supposed to be. Because your healing journey does not have to look glamorous or be glamorous in order to be valid. That is a very unrealistic image. Now let's talk about the last myth of healing. Healing is not just a matter of time, okay? It's not just a matter of time. Now I know that we've all heard the saying before, time heals all wounds. However, although there is some truth in that statement, It can also be very misleading. The real question is, how are you spending that time? Are you spending that time healing? Are you spending that time investing in yourself and pouring into your well-being? Or are you not? The thing is, you can't expect time to do all of the work for you. And you can't expect healing to happen over time if you're not taking the time to heal. If you're spending that time numbing and distracting and shoving things underneath the rug, in time, no healing is going to take place. So it really matters how we are spending that time. It matters what we're investing that time into. And that's how you're going to see results. Because whatever you invest your time into now is going to show up later on down the road. So even if it might feel really hard right now to invest in your healing, I promise you, if you start investing in it right now, you are only going to get better with time. But you have to put the investment in first. You can't just rely on time. Because time is really something that just shows you the fruits of your labor. But it does not plant the seeds. You are the one who plants the seeds. So this takes me back to the original question. What is healing and how do you do it? Now here is what I believe healing is in my own definition. Of course, everyone's going to have their own definition about it, but this is just from my perspective. Healing is a process of coming to certain realizations and gradually finding peace of mind with the events that have happened. It is a lifestyle and a mindset that you adopt around allowing the experiences that you have faced to shape you into your higher self, rather than keeping you stuck in a place that you no longer want to be. Now I know, that was like a baked potato, absolutely loaded. So let me break it down. Healing is a process of coming to certain realizations. Let's say that you're going through a breakup. Now I know I keep using the breakup example here, but this can honestly apply to anything that you might need to heal through. At first, it might feel like you absolutely can't live without this person. This person is your peace and your happiness and your joy. And without this person in your life, you feel like you could never feel those things again. But over time, as you start to heal, you also start to realize that you can actually feel okay without this person in your life. You can actually find peace without them. You can actually find happiness without them. You can actually enjoy life and feel good about yourself, even if they're no longer around. And what happened was your perception changed on the situation. At first, you might have truly believed that your ex was the key to your happiness. But as you've lived and you've grown through that experience and healing has taken place, you realize that that's actually not the case. And so healing is a change of perspective. Healing is coming to different realizations. Healing is finding new ways to look at things. Healing is also finding peace of mind with the things that might have happened. And you'll know that you're healing through something when the same things that once triggered you so deeply no longer have such a triggering effect on you anymore. When you're able to look at the situation from a more objective standpoint and you're able to accept the things that might have happened, that's how you know that you're healing. And maybe you went through something really traumatic or really hard, or someone hurt you in an unimaginable, absolutely unacceptable way. And acceptance in no way means condoning what had happened. Acceptance doesn't mean condoning someone else's actions either. It's acknowledging that I cannot go back in the past and change what might have happened, but what I do from here is the only thing that matters. And yes, what might have happened to me might have absolutely hurt me and broke me down and felt like it destroyed me. But I acknowledge that I cannot do anything to solve what had happened back then. All I can do is use this as a tool to help me expand now. Because healing can only really take place in the present moment. When you accept the moment as it is, that is when healing takes place. And it might take you some time to find acceptance with whatever it might be. And there is no rush into finding this acceptance. But once you do accept that what had happened in the past happened, and all I can do now is create a better life for myself if I choose to in this current moment, that is how you can start to get the ball rolling, at least rolling, on your healing. And it's also super important to be patient with yourself and move at your own pace, because there's no rush to this and we can't judge ourselves for where we are at, because we have to be the ones to guide ourselves with where we are going. Healing is also a mindset and a belief system that we choose to operate off of. Now here's something that might change your perspective on things. Believing is seeing. Not seeing is believing, but believing is seeing. Before we see anything at all, we have to believe that there is a reality in which it already is happening. Because everything around us that was man-made was once a belief. This microphone was a belief. This shirt was a belief. These earrings were a belief. You even were a belief. And so we have to believe in things in order to see results for things. We have to believe that something is possible in order to see it show up in our lives. And so healing only happens when you believe that you are able to heal through something. Because if you don't believe that you can heal, then you won't. And so healing is having the mindset and the belief that the things that might have happened in my past, the things that might have happened to me, the things that I might be going through right now are only here to shape me. They're here to build me into who I'm meant to be. They're not here to limit me. They're not here to hold me back. They are not here to keep me stuck. And they are not here to ruin my life. They are here to propel me into my highest self. It's also understanding that the things that I'm going through right now, or the things that I've been through before, say nothing about me and my self-worth or my value as a human being. And even in this moment, if there's no physical confirmation of your healing, or you can't see how anything is happening, or you can't see the healing take place, I want you to understand that you have to keep believing in that reality in which you are already healed in order to see results in your healing. And healing is also a daily practice. And like I said before, it's not just this one and done thing. And you don't even have to be going through it in order to practice healing. Healing is something that you can practice in your day-to-day life. There are things that we can do every single day that will help nurture ourselves and help us feel better about ourselves and feel better about our lives. And those things can be really healing. And I'm going to share with you some really healing things that I like to do personally. Something that I've done in the past year and a half is clean up my diet. And I didn't go vegan, I didn't go keto, I didn't follow a specific diet plan, and you don't have to do that either. What I mean by cleaning up your diet is just incorporating more clean foods into your diet and omitting some foods that aren't the best for you. Like if you're eating a certain food that makes your stomach hurt all the time, that might be a good one to get rid of. Even just focusing on eating more one ingredient foods like whole foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, that can drastically change the way that you feel. Because your gut is actually really powerful when it comes to your mood and your mental health. So if you have healthy gut health, that is going to contribute to healthy mental health. Also going out in nature, going for walks every day, exercising, those things have been so helpful in my healing journey overall. And even just getting sunlight every single day if you're able to, even if it's just for 10 minutes a day, sitting outside in the sun has drastically improved my mood. Because nature itself has healing properties. And when we spend all day inside, we are stripping ourselves of what we're actually meant to do here as human beings. We are literally a part of nature, and so when we strip ourselves away from nature, we suffer the consequences of it. So just going outside and breathing in some fresh air, getting some daylight, feeling the grass on your feet is super healing. And also a huge healing practice that I incorporate is taking breaks from social media. Now I know you might not like the idea of that one. I know you might have squirmed at the idea of that one. Taking a social media break, I don't know if I'm ready to do that. But I promise you it is so healing to detach from the grid every so often. It is so healing to take breaks and to recenter into your life. Because a lot of us think that our lives are happening on these rectangular pieces of metal that we're holding right now. But once I unplug for a while, I start to realize that my life is actually happening all around me. It's not just on this phone. And excessive social media use, especially when you're going through something, can be really toxic to your healing. Because social media is filled with a lot of noise and comparison and stuff that doesn't make you always feel good. And even if it sounds extreme to take an entire social media break, even just getting rid of a few apps can make a difference, or limiting your time on certain ones that you're always on. But all in all, just doing more things that make you feel good, that help you to feel creative and inspired and connect you with nature and your higher self are very important things to incorporate during this time. Basically, I just say do more of whatever brings you peace, because incorporating peaceful practices into your day-to-day life is truly a way to heal. So to wrap things up, I want you to see all of the pain that you might be in like a big patch of dirt. It might be messy, it might be chaotic, it might not be pretty to look at, but out of this dirt is going to grow beautiful flowers, plants, trees, fruits, you name it. So even if all of this dirt is not pretty right now, the more that we plant seeds in it and the more that we nurture it and the more that we water it and tend to it, beautiful things are going to grow from all of this. And this is why pain is useful. This is why pain has a purpose. From it, we can grow and become stronger and more beautiful people if we use the dirt for our growth. But we can't just wallow in it. We can't just sit in the dirt and complain about the dirt and expect things to grow out of it if we're not nurturing it. We can't feed the dirt toxicity and a bunch of harmful chemicals and expect beautiful things to grow out of it. And so in order to see any benefit from all of this, we have to learn how to be okay with being in the dirt. We have to learn how to nurture the dirt and love ourselves when we are deep in the dirt. And that is how we are going to see growth. Making the choice to heal is a radical act of self-love. And if you made it this far in the video, then that means that you are dedicated to loving yourself and to healing. And I'm so proud of you. If you want to learn how to love yourself more and to have a better relationship with yourself, and you want more tools to use on your own healing journey, then press that subscribe button, because I have a whole bunch of content coming out for you guys. And I will have new tools for you to use every single week. But I want you to understand that you are the healer. Above anyone else or anything else in your life, the healing is in your hands. And as long as you set that intention to heal, as long as you take the aligned actions to heal, and you actually want to heal, I promise you, the path to your healing is going to unfold. And the more that you pour into yourself is the more that you're going to see that garden grow. But just remember, guys, that I believe in you, but I just want you to believe in yourself. I'll see you guys next time.